So I'm gonna start with the buff brush, and I'm gonna go into the scariest color, for me anyway, the dark scary contour color that I didn't know where to even put. But I'm gonna tell you exactly where to put it and take the guessing out of makeup, right? So I just dab in there because you don't need to dig, swipe, anything like that, because a little goes a super duper long way. There's no water in our cream product. Now I'm going top of ear to outer corner of eye, or you can feel for that cheekbone or put your brush on it and put your brush into the hollow, and you want to go right up and under that cheekbone to kind of give your face some shape. So we are contouring, and I'm going to do it over here, top of ear to outer corner of eye on both sides. It doesn't have to be perfect. I am not a makeup artist. I am a nurse by trade. I just found this and loved it and knew other women needed to hear about it. So I went up and under each cheekbone, and then I go above my temple because I'm hollowing in my temples. So I go right above my temple, right along my hairline, and it just accentuates the roundness of our head. If you have a longer forehead like myself, it'll make it appear just a little bit shorter. So just right along that hairline with that dark contour color. Next step of contour, I kind of use the edge of the buff, and I follow my eyebrow line down my nose. And what this is gonna do is narrow my nose a little bit. I am gonna blend in the end, so don't get scared. And see, like, I have way too much there, but it doesn't matter because cream is so forgiving, thank goodness, and anybody can do it. So I followed my eyebrow line down on both sides. You see how my nose looks narrow, but it's kind of long now. So I'm gonna cut it off right at the tip, and it'll make like a nice little button nose. See what a little bit of contour does if you know where to put it? And I'm gonna put a little under my lip because it kind of helps with some added pucker. Kind of makes that lip a little more pouty. You can skip that step if you want. Next, final step of the contour, up and under that jawline to really chisel out that jaw, differentiate between the face and the neck. This part is super good for pictures. So even if you forget it, you know, in the day-to-day, if you're getting family pictures done or you know you're going to some event where pictures are going to be taken, make sure you chisel out that jawline. It's just super pretty. We're done with contour. We are on to the brightening highlight. I'm using the same brush. These brushes were made for our cream, so I really recommend getting them at least one, even if you have fantastic brushes at home. Excuse me. And if you're gonna get one, just one, get the 3D foundation brush. That can do it all. I'm gonna use the Buff and the Blush and Bronzer brush today. But I'm going into my brightening highlight. I don't need to wipe off that contour because our brushes were made for the cream. They pick it up nicely and they deposit it nicely onto your face. So it works super duper well. Now I'm gonna tell you what the heck I just did. I put a little sprout kind of in the middle of my face. We wanna brighten this triangle of light. This is our triangle of light. I did not know, I had to Google it. We wanna bring that forward. So that's what the brightening highlight does. We put a little between the brows, we go down the nose. It's not perfect, that's okay. Tip of nose, and then Cupid's bow, that's this little guy. And then I'm always a little red around here. Allergies. I ran out of allergy medication the other day and took Benadryl at 7 a.m. It was a rough day. Okay, and then we're gonna put a little bit on the chin. And I did way too much there. So maybe I'll try to take some because the next part's the inner corner of the eye. So we brightened in between the brows, down the nose, tip of the nose, Cupid's bow, chin, because we're getting that triangle of light. Now we're gonna get the inner corner of the eye just a little bit, because if you have fine lines and wrinkles in here, like myself, more is not gonna serve you. And that's why SEINT works so nice for us, is because it is highly pigmented cream. So you need a tiny bit to get some coverage and light and bright. And the reason I was like, oh, that's too much, is because there's no water. So you don't need much heavily pigmented products. Okay, and then I put a little on that lower lash line and drag it up for a little eye lifteroonie. Okay, and we're gonna blend this all out in the end. But it really defines our own features. I mean, who doesn't need this? So I'm doing a little on the inner corner of the eye here. And always just kind of tell yourself a little goes a long way. And as I apply just a little bit more. I went to the store today and the lady told me, wow, you look tired. I'm like, I don't have my makeup on yet. Okay, now this outer corner of the eye, and we're lifting up for a little eye lift. Okay, done with brightening. Pretty easy, right? It's kind of one layer cream makeup that gives you the coverage, glow, and dimension that you never knew you wanted. Okay, now into the main highlight, the one that looks most like our skin tone. I'm switching to the blush and bronzer brush, this domed end. Remember, if you just get one brush, the 3D foundation brush is the one to get. So I'm kind of putting this where I don't have product. Basically that lower half of the face where a man would grow a beard. I definitely have some blonde hairs there too, so maybe not just gentlemen. So just stippling. It's better to press this stuff into your skin because it gets those pores and you're not wasting the product. You're not swiping it away. So I put that main highlight on the lower half. You can drape it up here if you want. No reason to cover every part of your face because cream moves when we blend. And that's our next step. So I'm gonna blend it out with the blush and bronzer. I'm gonna use this same domed end. These are probably my two favorite brushes. I like the buff for placement, the blush and bronzer for blush and blending. But like I said, if you're just gonna dip your toe in the pond, I would grab the 3D foundation brush. Now I'm gonna blend light to dark because that's just the way I was taught. And sometimes I have trouble with my contour disappearing. So just remember, stippling or pressing it in is the best for your skin, especially that delicate under eye. So you just kind of wanna press in. You'll see me do kind of a combo of swiping and stippling. Just try to remember pressing in is best and it's gonna give you the most out of the makeup. Okay, we are blending light to dark. I think I don't blend this out completely because I kind of enjoy it, but you definitely can. Okay, so I think I got, oh, maybe not there. Oops. Now we're gonna attack the contour. We're gonna push this contour back into the hairline. I know at first this is like, whoa, this is a lot more steps, but really it's not because you're layering upon layering when you're doing traditional makeup. This way you're just getting it all done with one layer and you can go back in and fix if you'd like. But so I push that back into my hairline. I kind of buff these nose lines out. You can use a nice little sponge if you don't want that line to go away too much, if you really like how it narrows your nose. And we offer a perfector sponge. These are great to have, especially if you're starting with cream for the first time, because you can roll them over your finished product and it's gonna pick up the excess cream if you've used too much. Okay, we're gonna lift up and back with the contour on the cheek. This is probably the only rule with SEINT, and really there are no rules, but you don't wanna drag your face down. If anything, you wanna lift. So always flick that cheekbone contour up and back. Look at the dimension. We have that cheekbone that really was not there before we started. Same thing here, we're just gonna lift up and back, and this is 3D foundation. So I have coverage, hello, glow, and some dimension that I didn't even know that I wanted, but I like it. And now I'm gonna add a little lip cheek. I kinda like this one, but she's scary, but she's a semi-gloss, so even though she looks scary there, oh, look at, I didn't blend my chin. That happens, you know, you just gotta make sure you got all your stuff, all your ducks in a row. Mine are, there's always one out of line with me. So she looks scary there, but watch. Oops, just gonna put her everywhere on my arm there for you. But she's a semi-gloss. I'll show you her on my lips. She's not that scary. She's Pinky Promise, and she's kind of a fun, bright, cool pink. Okay, if you like subtle tones, a mauvey pink color that's great is Summer Love. One with a little more like deserty, kind of rust tones is Desert Sunset. Carousel is great. We have a ton of subtle tones, but we have bold colors too. I love our lip and cheeks because they double as lip and cheeks, so you know they go together. So I kind of put mine on my apple of my cheek and go up like so, because I've lost volume mid-face, so I like to put it there. Now, if you want to continue to narrow, go on the outer corner of your eye and stipple up, and you'll see the difference, I think, here. Here we're still narrowing, and here we're trying to plump that cheek up. Okay, so I don't look so crazy. I'm gonna add just a little bit where I like it. But yeah, our lip cheeks double as lip cheeks, and they're only $16. Every tin in my little compact here is 16 bucks. These little ones aren't. They were a holiday edition. But so it's cheap, affordable, and it's a magnetic palette. So when you run out of a shade, you can just simply plop it out and replace it and plop it back in. So that's a little pinky promise. Pretty easy, right? Now, I wear bronzer all year round. I recommend it, especially going into summertime when you get a little color. I like Bella bronzer. She's pretty universal, and this is the Blush and Bronzer brush. If you know you're gonna get bronzer and you like this brush, you can bundle them and save 11 bucks. Now, where you put bronzer, look at a picture where you have a little color where the sun has kissed you, and that's kind of where you want to put it. Otherwise, if you're like, I don't know, just kind of do a C. Top of forehead, top of cheek. Okay, you can get your nose, and then I always like to put it down my neck so I'm not that floating head. But this is 3D. It's simple, easy, fun, and anybody can do it. So we have till Sunday to get orders in and get you matched and all that jazz for Tracy's party. So let me know if you need help at all. We also have gorgeous eyeshadows, and I'm showing them off in posts to come, but they are 14 bucks and they are just amazing. And it's so nice, instead of buying a large palette full of colors that you only use 2, you just buy the ones you like and you slap them in your magnetic palette.